Good day everyone, welcome to Poison Tutors. So in today's class I will be explaining how to solve this simple inequality question that says, for what values of x is the inequality true? So what inequality do we have here? We have 7 minus 3x greater than 0. What does it mean for this inequality to be true? It simply means what are the values, what are the numbers x can be that can make our left hand side to be greater than the right hand side. Of course, x can be many numbers, but we need to find all those numbers. That is what this question says. So it is very inappropriate for us to be testing numbers here. What do I mean? I can actually put 1 for x here. If I let x to be 1, that's 7 minus 3, and that's 4. Fine. 1 makes this inequality true because when I input 1 here, it made my left hand side to be greater than my right hand side. If you put 2 here, 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. 1 is still greater than 0. Can you see that when I put 2 here, it still made my inequality true? Likewise, some other numbers like that. We cannot keep testing and testing and testing. So how do we solve this? How do we get all the numbers at once? So you need to follow these simple steps I will be showing. Okay, so we need to solve for x. We need to make x stand alone here. And how do we do that? To make x stand alone, we need to move this 7 away. That's the first obstacle we have in our front. We need to take this 7 away. So we need to subtract 7 from this side. And whatsoever you do to the left hand side, you must also do to the right hand side. So that simply means if you are subtracting 7 from the left hand side, you must also subtract 7 from the right hand side. So if you subtract 7 from the left hand side, 7 will be gone. We will be left with just minus 3x, as you can see here. Now on our right hand side, we will also subtract the same 7. We already subtracted from the left hand side. It is gone already. So what do we do here? We are left with what? Minus 3x greater than minus 7. So what do we do next? We need to make x stand alone. That is our goal. So we divide both sides by minus 3. Minus 3. In one of my videos on inequality, the link will be in the description box below, I explained the rules of inequality. And one of the rules is what I will be applying here. Whenever you divide both sides of your inequality by a negative number, whenever you divide both sides of your inequality by a negative number, your inequality sign will change. So what do I mean here? Minus 3 can cancel minus 3. We are left with x greater than, if minus cancels minus, you have 7 over 3. Now the rule says whenever you divide your inequality by negative number, the inequality sign will change. So our inequality sign here have been what? Greater than. So since we have divided both sides by negative number, it will change to less than. Can you see? So our final answer is x is less than 7 over 3. So it simply means every numbers that are less than 7 over 3 will make this inequality true. That's all. This is how to solve this simple question. Your answer is x is less than 7 over 3. In fact, let me rewrite it. X is less than 7 over 3. That's our final answer. Okay, so we have another question here. That says, find the range of values of x for which 2x plus 1 over x plus 2 greater than 1 over 2. So we want to find the range of value of x for which this left hand side is greater than 1 over 2. Actually, there are some numbers whereby if we input them, if we use them to replace x here, our left hand side will always be greater than 1 over 2. So how do we find those numbers now? Like I said earlier, it is inappropriate to start testing numbers here. It is not mathematical. Okay, it is going to be a waste of time if you say, oh, let x be 1, oh, let x be 2, oh, let x be minus 5. It will take time, and with that you won't even be able to know all the numbers. So the best way of approaching this question is to make x stand alone. Okay, how can we make x stand alone? Just the same approach we applied there. The only difference between this inequality and this inequality is this is a linear inequality. It is not a fraction, but this one is a fraction here. So whenever you have a fraction like this, make it linear like this, linear, straight like this. Okay, so the only way we can make a fraction linear is by destroying the denominator. If we can destroy the denominator, if there is nothing like this on the denominator again, you know it is going to be linear, right? So that is what I am just about to do. So let us destroy this denominator first, this 2, before we come and destroy x plus 2. So to destroy this 2, we have to multiply this side by 2 like this. This is what I'm saying. Let me show you. We multiply by 2. You know, if you multiply by 2, 2 can cancel 2. But take notes, I said in the beginning when I was explaining this that whatsoever you do to the left hand side, you must also do to the right hand side. So for me to multiply this right hand side by 2, I must also multiply left hand side by 2. X plus 2. So I'm going to do what? Multiply by 2 like this. Let me put this in a bracket. Okay, yes. Even though there is no 2 that can cancel here, don't worry about that. We only need to destroy this 2 on this denominator. So we have done that already. So what are we left with? We are left with, let us use this 2 to open this bracket. Please, don't use 2 to times your denominator. Whenever you have something like this, multiplying another thing, this can only multiply the numerator. Okay, so 2 times 2x will give us 4x plus 2 times 1 is 2 over x plus 2 greater than 1. You know, 2 has cancelled 2 already. Okay, so what is the next thing we are to do here? The next thing we are to do here is to destroy this denominator. Don't forget, our goal is to make it linear. Now, I need to repeat a rule I mentioned earlier on in the beginning. I said that whenever you are dividing your inequality, both sides of your inequality by a negative number, what should happen? Your inequality sign will change. I showed it here. Likewise, whenever you are multiplying both sides of your inequality, if you are multiplying both sides of your inequality by a negative number, your inequality sign will also change. But notice, I multiplied both sides of my inequality by 2 here. You can see it. My inequality sign did not change. Do you know why? That's because 2 is positive. If 2 were to be negative, if it was minus 2 I multiplied with, this greater than will become less than. Take notes. Always be careful, okay? And keep in mind the rules of your inequality. There are so many other rules of inequality which I have explained in my former video, in one of the videos I have uploaded. So you can go watch those videos, okay? So, yeah, that is that about that. Now let's continue. We need to destroy this our denominator here. How do we destroy it? We multiply. Now before multiplying, okay, we multiply by x plus 2, right? Multiply both sides by x plus 2. Why am I multiplying both sides by x plus 2? So that this x plus 2 can cancel this, yes or no? You know, when x plus 2 cancel this, it's no more fraction. It is now linear. But now, please, look at this. Let's see this together. I mentioned that whenever you are multiplying, if you multiply with a negative value, your inequality sign will change. Let me ask you this simple question. Is x plus 2 positive or negative? Well, x plus 2 is negative. I know somebody might say it is positive because of this plus you're seeing. X plus 2 can be positive and can also be negative, but from the look of things here, x plus 2 is negative, and I'm going to prove it to you why x plus 2 is negative. X plus 2 is negative because if you read the question, did they tell us that x is positive? No. Did they tell us that x, did they say find the range of values of positive x or negative x? They never specify the type of numbers x can be. They just ask us to find it. So that simply means x plus 2 can be positive, it can be negative. Pick any positive number, put it here. Okay, I know somebody might want to say, let's try 20. If s is 20, 20 plus 2 is what? 22. Yes, 22 is positive. Yes, it's positive. Okay, pick any negative number and put it here. Let's pick minus 30. Minus 30 plus 2 is what? Minus 28. That's negative. The moment you get a negative answer, that simply means s plus 2 is negative. Yes, do you understand? It's negative. It can only be positive if all the values of x are positive. If you pick any positive value of x, then s plus 2 will be positive. But if you pick negative values of x, s plus 2 will be negative. So that is why it is very wrong to multiply both sides by s plus 2. If you multiply both sides by s plus 2, that means we have to change our greater than sign to what? A less than sign, isn't it? So the best thing you should always do whenever you have a fraction inequality, an inequality that is fractions like this, before you multiply both sides by your denominator like this, make sure you confirm if that thing you are multiplying with is positive or negative. If it is positive, fine, you are good to go. Don't change your inequality sign. But if it is negative, make sure you do what? Make sure you change your negative sign. So I will be teaching us how to change a positive value to I'll be teaching us how to change a negative value to a positive value. So this s plus 2, we can make it positive by putting a square here. So instead of us to multiply both sides by s plus 2, we will be multiplying both sides by s plus 2 squared. You know that when you have anything squared, that thing is always positive. Okay, let me show you an example. If you have x plus 2 squared, if s is, pick any positive number, put it here. Pick 20. If s is 20, that's 20 plus 2. That's 22 squared. 22 squared, if you multiply that, that should give okay, let's check it out. It's going to give us a positive value answer. Do you understand? So okay, let us pick any negative value. Let's use minus 30. Minus 30 squared. Now minus 30 plus 22 is what? That's minus 28 then square. What does minus 28 square means? Minus 28 square means minus 28 times minus 28. Can you see? Minus times minus is plus. It will still give us positive. So that means whenever you have the square of anything, it simply means that thing will always give you a positive. Do you understand? So that means whenever you have negative like this, s plus 2, we have confirmed that it can be negative, right? So in order for us to make it positive, we just have to square it. Do you understand? You do what? Square it, and it will become positive throughout automatically. So x plus 2 can cancel s plus 2 here. Yes or no? So we will still be left with s plus 2 here. This is square. So one of it just gets cancelled. So we'll still be left with what? X plus 2. Then our 4x plus 2 greater than what? 1 times this is still this. 1 times anything is still going to give you that thing. Okay, so what do we do here? All we just have to do here is to do what? Don't expand. Expanding this will, can make it get complicated. It will look complex. Do you understand? So the easiest way of approaching this is move this to the left hand side. Okay, so that will be x plus 2 times this 4x plus 2. Now I want to move this to my left hand side. It will become minus. It is positive that is there. So that's minus x plus 2 squared. Nothing is left on the right hand side. That's 0. Do you understand? So what do we do after? We do what? Now what do you notice? This s plus 2, this is s plus 2. It is common. So let us factorize. So we will bring s plus 2 out. If we bring x plus 2 out, if we take s plus 2 away from here, what will be left? It is 4s plus 2 that will be left, right? 4x plus 2 will be left, minus, if we take s plus 2 away from here, we will still be left with another s plus 2. It is square that is there. Okay, so greater than 0. What do we do after? All we just have to do is x plus 2. Now, let's open this bracket. 4x plus 2 minus times x is minus x. Minus times plus 2 is minus 2, right? Greater than 0, okay? So, x plus 2. Now, what's this? 4x minus x is what? 3x. Plus 2 minus 2 is gone. That's 0. So this is what we are left with. Aha, we are almost done with our work. Okay, so what do we do after? How do we get our answer? This is quadratic. Obviously, you can see it already. This is a quadratic inequality. So what do we do after? We say x plus 2 greater than 0 or 3x greater than 0. You know, when you have x plus 2 times 3x greater than 0, when you have something like this, what does it mean? It simply means it's either this one is greater than 0 or this one is greater than 0. Do you understand? Yes, either one of them must always be greater than 0. Do you understand? Okay, so what do we do here? We say x is greater than minus 2. You know, I moved our 2 here. How about this place? If you divide both sides by 3, so you'll be left with what? 3 greater than 0. Oh, sorry, x greater than 0. We have divided both sides by 3. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so I divided both sides by 3, so I'm left with x greater than 0. So this is not our final answer. Always know that this is not what our final answer. So how do we get our final answer? I'm going to show us now. So what are we left with? X greater than minus 2, x greater than 0. Okay, x greater than minus 2, x greater than 0. So you have to draw your number line. This is the shortcut. This is just a short, fast way of getting your answer. Okay, if you don't want to start testing. Okay, so let's just do what? You will put 0 on your number line. You know, 0 is always at the center. Minus 2 will be somewhere around here. So just put the numbers on your number line like this. Okay, so you will start from here. You will start from this side, this left hand side, up to minus 2. Okay, you will check, you will test, pick any number from this place to minus 2. Okay, pick any number and put it inside your quadratic inequality. You can use any one you like here, but the one I will advise you to always use is use this. Let me start it for you. Okay, these ones that are in brackets, you know, you have already simplified. Don't use these ones that are not simplified. These ones are not simplified yet. Just use this one to confirm your answer. So that's x plus 2 times 3x greater than 0. Okay, x plus 2 times 3x greater than 0. Okay, so let's try out. Pick any number that is less than minus 2. What are the numbers here? You know, we have minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, minus 8, minus till infinity, right? Minus infinity. Okay, so let me pick minus 10. Okay, let's put minus 10 into this. Minus 10 plus 2. 3 times minus 10 is minus 30. Let's see if it will be greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, that means every numbers that are less than minus 2 will what? Will satisfy this inequality. Okay, let's go on. Minus 10 plus 2 is minus 8. Minus 8 times minus 30 is 240. You can press your calculator. 240 is obviously greater than 0. That means, you know, I picked any number that is less than minus 2 and it worked. It's correct, isn't it? It made my inequality true. So therefore, x less than minus 2, let me put it here. X less than minus 2 is correct for us. Okay, let's just check. Let's check from minus 2 to 0 now. In between, we have tested from this place to where minus 2 is. So we are going to go from minus 2 to 0 now. Pick any number between minus 2 and 0. That's like minus 1. Minus 1 is between. Let's put it into our quadratic inequality. Minus 1. Minus 1 plus 2. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3, right? Let's check. Minus 1 plus 2 is what? 1. 1 times minus 3 is what? Minus 3. Please, is minus 3 greater than 0? No. That means there is no number in between minus 2 and 0 that can satisfy the inequality. Now, let's check from 0 upward like this. upward. Okay, now pick any number from 0 upward. Let's pick 5. 5 is here, around here. Okay, you can pick 6, you can pick any number you like. So I just choose to pick 5. Okay, so let's check 5, put it inside this inequality. 5 plus 2, and 3 times 5 is what? 15. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 times 15 is 105. Please, guys, is 105 not greater than 0? Yes, it is greater than 0. That means all numbers that are greater than 0 will satisfy this inequality. So we will say S must be greater than 0. Just the way we tested numbers less than -2 here. S greater than 0. So these are our two answers. S is less than -2, and S is greater than 0. So our final answer is going to be what? X is what? Let me show us again. S is what? Less than -2, greater than 0. Less than -2, and S must be greater than 0. This is our two answers. We are done. So these are the range of values of X for which this inequality is true. I hope this is clear to everyone. So this is how to solve this kind of inequality. Generally, whenever you're given any inequality question, make sure you let X stand alone. After making X stand alone, you will see for yourself. Especially when it comes to quadratic inequality like this, don't always stop your answer here. No, you have to draw your inequality, your number line, put in those two values. Okay, we have -2 and 0. I put them here, right? So I drew my number line. I tested from left hand side up to -2. I picked any number. I tested. It's correct. That's why I concluded that S must be less than -2. I checked in between. I saw that it's not correct. And I checked greater than. I saw that it's correct. Even if you have 3 numbers, put the 3 numbers on your number line and you're good to go. I hope this is clear to you. So if you understand everything I have explained here, if you like this video, if you enjoyed this video on how to solve this simple inequality question, kindly hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you.